So I first got involved with Slug Street Scrapper series by Micah Brock, the producer and the director, a friend of mine. Um, he has his own channel, filming company called Whirlwind Action, as you already know, and he had this idea to do a video game inspired sequence. From what I understand, um, he's been having this idea for quite some time, and then I had a video that was kind of like a fight game, like a tag team 2 on 3, and it kick-started the idea a little bit further, or motivated him even more, I suppose. And then he called me up and said, "Hey, let's do a blah 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 thing, and this and that, that and this." And then one thing led to my mother, or another, and Slug Street Scrappers. I worked with him for some of my projects in Dragon Phoenix Entertainment and also in his own production, Whirlwind Action, and we've collaborated back and forth. They've got progressively longer. They've got progressively more expansive with the characters. The first one was like a introductory, just to test the waters to see how it would be among viewers. First one was about 10 minutes roughly, and it focused more on the main character, Bruiser Bombash, and this other character, Peaches Powers. As we progress with each episode, it's got a little longer, more emphasis on other characters, and we've added elements, or Micah has written in elements of characterization, story arc, character arc, all the things that make us, have interest, growing interest in character. As far as the production aspect of it, the gear has been upgraded. We initially used my own camera. He eventually bought better equipment for sound, microphones, reflectors, and all that such to give us a little more production value. The challenge of that is that you're doing double duties. First, acting requires that you memorize some lines. You the practice acting gestures with your hands, facial expressions, and then tonal delivery. And you got to practice that, of course. You don't just have the script and then start saying your stuff right there in the camera. You got to practice ahead of time. While at the same time, if you're producing, you're also gathering elements to get the shoot put together, such as like arranging the shoot date, uh, talking to every one of the talent, the crew members, coordinating to get a day that we can all agree on. We're practicing choreography, developing choreography, fleshing out writing the script, fleshing out the script, thinking about lights that we need to bring, or reflectors if it's outdoors, gathering camera equipment. So in short, it is double duties. You got the acting and then you got the production side. I think the easiest way to answer this question is to start from where a basic fight scene is just simply throw a punch, duck, block, avoid, throw a kick. This is just basic movement. It's not any particular style. This is popularized in Hong Kong style of fighting, where it's just throw some punches and kicks. When you're doing a particular fighting style, you kind of isolate yourself into a particular set of movements. So if it's tiger, you block in such a form that is tiger. You attack in such a form that is tiger. Now, when you're countering another character in the choreography, and then he does Muay Thai, we have a difference in terms of fluidity and speed. Muay Thai is particularly a little more rigid, more solid, a little more slower, more to the point. Tiger Fist Kung Fu has a lot of flash flair, and when you're combining the two together, you have to think of ways to try to sync it up, because as I said, one is more fast and fluid, one is a little more rigid, more slow, more powerful and to the point. That would be about 2016, 1996. Let's call that 20 years. Very pain-inducing. We had to do, as it says, some contact-based fight scenes with a lot of full contact. A lot more so than usual with other fight scenes they've done with other people. Sure, we do hit ourselves and stuff. Crash fall, just like anywhere else I suppose, but this one has more emphasis on that. We're following through with the attack to give this feel of, oh gosh, that was a full contact. In many cases where we could get away with it, we're wearing armor, some body pads underneath, a helmet for the henchmen characters. Nevertheless, you could still feel the impact of it. It does hurt. There's some areas where the armor doesn't even protect us, like we're at the neck. It is pretty tough, challenging. You can feel the injury of it, but in the end result is this: wow, they were really hitting, and wow, they were really hitting. Okay, let's see. Tell us a bit about my room. Okay, there's a lot of posters, anime and video games. I like fighting games a lot. Most of the stuff that you see on here are characters from Street Fighter. Mostly fighting games I grew up with, from Tekken to Soul Calibur, Dead or Alive, and Street Fighter, Darkstalkers, Capcom vs. SNK, Rival Schools. And they've influenced me in my martial arts. They've influenced me in my drawing. I have a deep-rooted passion for doing illustration, drawing the same kind of stuff, fantastical elements of a fighting game type of characters. Tedious. Because of the summer weather, we have endured close to heat exhaustion. We were ill-equipped with, let's say, the drinks like water and stuff. We didn't have a cooler. We didn't even think about it. No brainer. Hey, let's bring water, but let's not bring an igloo and ice. It's summer. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. None of us thought about it at all. As a result, the water got warm, and drinking that to try to counter our thirst. Well, you know how warm water is in the summer when you're drinking. It doesn't really help your thirst at all. So what we did is we take the water bottle, and we had a stream nearby. We said, hey, let's cool down the water a little bit by putting it in the stream. That was like a good idea, we thought, until the stream actually was carried, the currents of the water took the water bottles away. We had to chase after it, and then we just shoved it in the stream a little bit deeper. It cooled down the water, but not enough to really counter our thirst. So we wound up drinking more water than we needed to. As a result, we're fighting with bloated bellies and stuff and feeling really heavy. The heat actually made it a little more tedious, a little more challenging to do the fight choreography, because for the first part, as I mentioned earlier, is that we are mixing two different styles together. We have karate and we have Muay Thai. That Bruiser is a practitioner of Muay Thai and several other styles. But in one sense, we have the luck of both characters' styles are a little more hard, more solid, more direct to the point. But the challenge of making two different styles together work in unison, in synchronization of the fight, joined in with the heat that we're dealing with and then our thirst, made a very tedious process that took a little longer than we would have liked. We were with the luck of being able to finish that within one day. And I think we had another problem with the camera under the heat and the bright light. It was actually hard to see the screen to know if we had the shots well. So as a result, some shots were actually a little blurrier than we have liked, not completely in focus. We did counter that by putting like a stand with an umbrella over the camera to give it some shade, but despite the heat, there was still a little bit of a breeze, not so much to feel cool, more like a warm hot breeze, icky one, and that shook the umbrella around, and that one became useless. So now we were stuck with just seeing the screen in the sunlight. That probably also made it, as a result, one of the harder scenes for us to film, most likely because of the timing that we did it during